illustrates. The first step to strengthening your mind from within begins with mastering your inner dialogue. This is the conversation you have with yourself every day. What this study illustrates, often without even realizing it, it is the silent voice that comments on everything you do, everything you face, and everything you feel. What this study illustrates, that voice has the power to build you up or break you down, to inspire you or limit you. Many people walk through life unaware of how toxic their self-talk has become. They feed themselves fear, doubt, shame, and guilt every single day. Illustrates. And what they don't realize is that these words, even though silent, are shaping their beliefs, choices, and reality. What this study illustrates, to take control of that voice is to take control of your life. The mind believes what it hears repeatedly. If you keep saying you're not good enough, what this study illustrates, eventually you'll stop trying. If you keep saying you're a failure, you'll start acting like one. But if you start telling yourself that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you are strong, your mind will begin to believe that too. It's not about lying to yourself or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to speak truth with power, to speak life, speak into your potential rather than death into your dreams. Changing your inner dialogue starts with awareness. Most people let their thoughts run wild, completely unchecked. They let fear speak louder than courage. Illustrates, they let past failures echo louder than future possibilities. But when you begin to listen consciously, this study lists, when you start paying attention to the way you talk to yourself, you will begin to notice just how often that inner voice tears you down. Illustrates that awareness is the first spark of transformation. You can't change what you don't notice. And once you hear the negative patterns, illustrates, you can begin to interrupt them. You can challenge every limiting belief with a stronger truth. You can replace, I can't with, I will learn. You can replace, I'm not enough with, I'm still growing. It's not about instant results. It's about daily choices. Every time you wake up in the morning, you decide what kind of voice you'll carry through the day. Will you be your own enemy, what this study illustrates, or your own best friend? Will you talk to yourself like someone you love or someone you've given up on? Illustrates that decision is more powerful than any outside motivation. It's personal, it's consistent, and it's transformational. Mastering your inner dialogue also requires compassion. Too often, people speak to themselves in ways they would never speak to anyone else. Study illustrate. They replay their mistakes, magnify their flaws, and minimize their strengths. But the truth is, you don't become stronger by beating yourself up. You become stronger by encouraging yourself to rise. Self-compassion is not weakness. It is not an excuse, as this study illustrates. It is the fuel that allows you to grow without quitting. It is the voice that says, yes, what the study illustrates, I failed, but I am not a failure. It is the reminder that progress is messy, and you are allowed to be human while still aiming for greatness. To master your inner dialogue, you must also guard what influences it. The mind is like a sponge, and it absorbs what you expose it to. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, with criticism, with fear-based messages, your inner dialogue will reflect that. But if you start feeding your mind with powerful, uplifting messages through books, podcasts, affirmations, and meaningful conversations, your self-talk will shift. You begin to think differently because you've given your mind different material to work with. It illustrates, this is not about ignoring reality. It's about choosing which reality you want to strengthen. What you focus on expands, and what you say to yourself becomes the script you live by. Mastering your inner dialogue is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong practice. Study illustrates. Some days will be easier than others. Some days the old voice of fear and doubt will try to return. But the more you train your mind to respond with strength, the quieter that voice becomes. You become the narrator of your own story, what this study illustrates, not the victim of your own thoughts. And that kind of power, the power that comes from within the illustrates, is what makes the difference between giving up and pushing forward, between just surviving and truly living. When your inner voice becomes a force of belief, resilience, and courage, your outer world starts to align with your inner strength. Illustrates. That's how you build a mind that cannot be shaken. From the inside out, study illustrates. To strengthen your mind from within, you must feed your mind with purpose. Just like the body needs healthy food to function, The mind needs the right kind of input to grow strong, focused, and resilient. Every piece of information you consume, every message you allow into your mental space shapes the way you think, feel, and act. Many people treat their minds carelessly. They consume negativity, comparison, distraction, and fear without thinking twice. They scroll endlessly, listen to gossip, and watch content that weakens their confidence. Yet they wonder why they feel stuck or overwhelmed. Feeding your mind with purpose means becoming intentional about what you expose yourself to and the illustrates, and making sure that what you take in builds you instead of breaking you. A strong mind doesn't happen by accident. It is built by design. What the study illustrates, the design begins with choosing the right mental nutrition. Books that stretch your thinking, conversations that challenge your limits, ideas that make you grow. These are the things that fuel inner strength. Purposeful input creates purposeful output. When you feed your mind with wisdom, clarity, and inspiration, you begin to think more clearly, respond more powerfully, and live more intentionally. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. You stop surviving on mental food and start thriving on truth, discipline, and vision. Its study illustrates it's not just about what you consume, it's also about why you consume it. When you feed your mind with purpose, it illustrates you are feeding it with the intention to become better, not just to be entertained or distracted. It's about reading not to pass time, illustrates, but to prepare for a stronger future. It's about listening to those who speak life into your potential, not just noise into your ears. Illustrates everything you consume either fuels your growth or steals your focus. Purpose acts as a filter. When you know your purpose, you naturally reject what doesn't serve it. You don't waste time on gossip, fear-driven news, or empty comparisons. You seek knowledge that lifts you. Study illustrates stories that motivate you and truths that sharpen you. That's what feeding your mind with purpose looks like. Illustrates many people underestimate the power of what they allow into their minds. They surround themselves with negativity and wonder why their thoughts are dark. Illustrates they focus on problems and wonder why they feel overwhelmed. But the mind is always listening, always adapting, always this shaping itself around what it hears and sees. Feeding your mind with purpose means taking control of that process. Illustrates it means replacing complaint with gratitude, distraction with focus, and noise with wisdom. It means guarding your attention like it matters, because it does. The quality of your attention determines the direction of your life. There is no greater investment than the investment you make in your mindset. A strong mind can turn failure into fuel, pain into power, illustrates, and doubt into drive. But that strength has to be cultivated, not wished for. You have to feed it every day. It's just like you wouldn't expect your body to run on empty. Don't expect your mind to perform without fuel. Wake up and read something that inspires you. What this study illustrates, listen to something that challenges you. Write down your goals, your gratitude, your vision. Train your mind to focus on what matters. What this study illustrates, train it to ignore what doesn't. Train it to believe in the possibilities rather than the problems. Feeding your mind with purpose also means being selective about your environment. The people you spend time with are part of what you feed your mind. Illustrates. Are they pushing you forward or pulling you down? Are they reminding you of your strength or magnifying your fears? Purposeful living means choosing relationships that add value, that speak growth, that hold you accountable to your best self. Yours illustrates. Your circle is part of your mental diet, and who you allow around you can either nourish your mind or poison it. Feeding your mind with purpose is not a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. It means choosing to be a student of life every single day. It means staying curious, humble, and hungry. It means realizing that you don't know everything, but you can learn anything. It's about feeding your mind with thoughts that align with where you want to go, not where you've been. Every time you choose purpose over comfort, learning over distraction, truth over noise, you are building a mind that is grounded, focused, and powerful. A strong mind is not built in chaos. It is built in clarity, and clarity comes from intentional input. Feed your mind with purpose, and you will begin to think differently, act boldly, and live with unstoppable strength from within. To strengthen your mind from within, you must embrace discomfort and growth. Growth never comes from staying in the same place. It comes from challenge, from friction, from moments that stretch you beyond what feels easy or familiar. Most people try to avoid discomfort. They seek the path of least resistance, the comfort zone where things feel safe and predictable. But the truth is that comfort zone is also where dreams go to die. Nothing new happens there. No breakthrough, no transformation, no real strength is built without stepping into the unknown and facing the discomfort that comes with it. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow. It might not feel like it in the moment. It might feel like pressure, failure, rejection, or pain. But within that pain is a lesson. Within that failure is a new level of strength waiting to be unlocked. The mind becomes stronger every time you choose to push through resistance instead of running from it. Just like a muscle grows by tearing and repairing through resistance, the mind grows by facing difficulty and learning to rise anyway. Discomfort is not your enemy. It is your greatest teacher. It reveals your limits and invites you to break them. You don't grow stronger by avoiding the storm. You grow stronger by learning how to stand tall in the middle of it. Life will never be free of problems, but your power lies in how you respond. Every setback you face gives you a choice, breakdown, or breakthrough. And when you decide to keep showing up, even when it's hard, even when no one's watching, that's when true strength is forged. It's in the early mornings, the late nights, and the lonely decisions and the hard conversations. That is where growth lives. That is where you meet the next version of yourself, the one who doesn't quit. Growth is uncomfortable because it requires you to let go of who you were to become, who you're meant to be. It requires you to confront your fears, face your doubts, and challenge the lies you've told yourself. It demands that you stop settling for average and start striving for excellence, not just once, but every single day. Embracing discomfort means saying yes to the hard things, taking responsibility, being disciplined, holding yourself accountable, and doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. That's what builds mental toughness. That's what builds grit. Too often people wait until they feel ready to grow. But real growth doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It begins when you decide that where you are is no longer enough. It begins when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the fear of change. You become mentally strong by consistently choosing growth over ease, purpose over pleasure, and challenge over comfort. The more you do hard things, the easier they become. What once seemed impossible begins to feel normal. Your standards rise. Your habits evolve. Your confidence builds. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. Growth through discomfort also teaches you resilience. It teaches you that failure is not the end, but part of the process. Every successful person has failed more times than most people have even tried. What sets them apart is that they didn't let those failures define them. They let those failures refine them. They kept showing up. They kept learning. They used every fall as a stepping stone to rise higher. That mindset is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who only dream about them. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's the ability to endure discomfort for the sake of growth. Strengthening your mind means rewiring your relationship with struggle. It means looking at every obstacle and saying, this is here to make me better. It means leaning into the hard moments instead of running from them. It means trusting that you are capable of more than you think, but you'll never find out unless you're willing to be uncomfortable. Discomfort is the price of progress. It's the space between who you are and who you can become. And when you learn to love that space, to embrace the stretch, you become unstoppable. The most powerful version of yourself is not found in ease. It is found in effort. It is found in the decision to keep going when it's tempting to quit. It is found in the belief that every challenge is an invitation to grow stronger. Embrace that belief and you will develop a mind that bends but never breaks. A mind forged by growth, grounded in purpose, and fueled by the fire that comes from choosing discomfort over comfort every time. Illustrates, to strengthen your mind from within, you must protect your mental energy. Mental energy is your inner fuel. It determines your focus, your clarity, your ability to respond instead of react, it is not infinite. And when it is drained by distractions, negativity, or unnecessary stress, your mind weakens. Illustrates, your decisions suffer and your progress slows. Protecting your mental energy means learning to say no without guilt, walking away from what no longer serves you, and choosing peace over chaos. It means recognizing that your time, attention, and emotions are valuable, what this study illustrates, and not everything or everyone deserves access to them. Every day you wake up with a limited amount of mental energy. How you spend it determines the quality of your life. If you waste it on overthinking, people pleasing, worrying about things you can not control, or constantly comparing yourself to others, you will feel exhausted without accomplishing anything meaningful. But if you learn to guard that energy, focus rates it, and direct it toward what truly matters, your mind becomes sharper, more resilient, and more powerful. Protecting your energy starts with being mindful of your environment, the people you surround yourself with either charge you or drain you. Illustrates, the conversations you engage in either empower you or deplete you. Be selective with who you allow into your space. Not everyone is meant to walk with you, and that's okay. You also protect your energy, Menji, by managing your thoughts. Not every thought that enters your mind deserves your attention. Illustrates, the mind will throw all kinds of noise your way, doubt, fear, distraction. But you don't have to entertain all of it. Study illustrates, learn to observe your thoughts without reacting to them. Choose ones to feed and which ones to release. Illustrates, this level of mental discipline doesn't happen overnight, but with practice, it becomes a habit. Illustrate, just like you don't open your front door to every stranger, don't open your mind to every thought. Guard it, filter it, direct it. One of the biggest leaks of mental energy is trying to control things that are outside your control. You cannot control other people's opinions, the past, or every outcome, but you can control your response, your attitude, and your actions. Focus your energy on what you can influence. What this study illustrates, let go of the need to control everything. When you release that pressure, you create space in your mind for clarity and strength. Study illustrates, acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means choosing peace over stress, clarity over confusion, and strength over chaos. Another way to protect your mental energy is to create boundaries. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are guidelines to keep your peace in. Set limits with your time, your conversations, and your commitments. Learn to say no without explanation. Say no to drama. Say no to constant digital noise. Say no to anything that doesn't align with your values and goals. Every yes you give to something unimportant is a no to something essential. Your energy is precious. Spend it wisely. Your habits also play a role in protecting your energy. Sleep, nutrition, movement, illustrates, and mindfulness all contribute to a healthy and strong mind. You can't think clearly if your body is exhausted. You can't focus if your routine is chaotic. Take care of your body and your mind will follow. Create space in your day for silence, for stillness, for reflection. Disconnect from noise so you can reconnect with your thoughts. In that quiet space, you'll find clarity. In that space, you recharge. Technology can also be a thief of mental energy if not used with intention. Constant notifications, endless scrolling, and digital distractions create mental clutter. Be mindful of your digital consumption. Schedule time to unplug. Use technology as a tool, not a trap. The more space you give your mind to breathe, the stronger it becomes. Protect that space with purpose. Protect it like it matters. Because it does. Protecting your mental energy also means speaking to yourself with kindness. Self-criticism drains you faster than failure ever will. Encourage yourself. Celebrate small wins. Be your own supporter. Your inner voice can either recharge you or wear you down. Choose your words wisely. Speak power into your mind. Speak belief into your journey. When you learn to protect your mental energy, you operate from a place of strength, not survival. You begin each day with intention. You make decisions with clarity. You handle challenges with resilience. Your mind becomes your ally, not your battlefield. And in that space of protection, peace, and power, you build a mind that is focused, fearless, and truly unbreakable.